Welcome to the next lecture video on the chapter number 4, software concept. In the lecture number 4, we'll be discussing about the linkers and loaders that we have left in the last class. The last class we said a linker is going to combine different program segments and combine them to form a single executable file, and these executable files are given to the loaders so that they can be executed. Similarly, last class what we have discussed, today's class will be taking it a bit forward. So a linker is a kind of software that links or combines smaller programs to form a single program. Like we have certain codes that are used for taking the input in the program, certain codes that are used for outputting the values, or certain logic of the program is written in 3 different containers. So all these containers can be linked together or combined together to form a single program. That means these smaller programs are combined together to form a single one. Or you can say a linker is a program that takes one or more objects that are generated, object code that are generated by a compiler or interpreter or any translator, and combines them into single executable file. All the different object codes that have been provided or created will be taken and it will be combined into or linked into a single executable file that will be given to the next loader. As you can see in this diagram, the source code that is written in a high level language, the compiler will convert it into the object code. The object code is given to linker. Instead of having object code only, it can have the additional files that are supporting the object code or the source code. Directly it will join to the linker. So linker combines object code and the additional file together and prepares a single file. That file we will call it as a executable files. These executable files need some memory or require some memory, or it need to be loaded into the memory for the execution. The purpose is been served by the next kind of software is the loader that will load the executable files into the memory. So here we have the diagram which explains the points. The linker, once an executable program is generated, someone will be having the work of loading this program into the main memory of the computer so that it can be executed. So that someone over here we will call as a loader. So this operation, that is the operation that is loading the executable program into the main memory, this is been performed by a software called as loader. Once again, going back to the diagram, executable file is to be loaded into the memory. So the loader will help it from the loader that will take the executable file and it goes to the main memory for the execution. So that's the work of the loader. So a loader is same like a linker, that is it's one of the kind of the system software that loads the machine code that is given by the linker or executable code of the program into the system memory. That can be the cache memory, that can be the register memory, or that can be even the RAM memory that we have. So the executable code is been written and it will be loaded into the memory by the use of the loader. So this loader will prepare the program for the execution, okay, for the running purpose. So the program starts running when the loader loads the entire code. So loader is also the part of the operating system. That means it is built as a part of the operating system. We will be discussing the operating system and its functionality. So loader, being a part of the operating system, it is responsible for loading the programs from the executable that is executable files. So executables are being loaded into the memory, preparing them for execution and then executing them. Okay, that's the job of the loader, taking the file from the linker, executable file, okay, loading into the memory or preparing them for the execution from the linker. That finishes the concept of linker and loader. Linker combines all the different files and form an executable file, whereas loader will load the executable file into the memory. The next is the utility software. The third kind of software that we are going to discuss is the utility software. Now, what do you mean by utility software? The utility software is been designed basically to help us to analyze the situation of the computer or to change the configuration of the computer so that the computer runs in an optimized, or the programs are managed by a computer system so that it runs very efficiently. So the work of the utility software is analyzing, configuring, optimizing and maintaining the work of the computer and its resources. The utility software usually focuses on how the computer infrastructure, that is how the computer hardware and the software components are working. So it includes the hardware, that is computer hardware, and the operating system, that is managing the entire computer, the application software and the data storage, everything that is operating on the computer. So computer includes hardware, operating system, application software and the data storage area. All these are being efficiently managed by the utility software. Now what is this utility software includes? Now you have recycle bin that you have seen. Some of the deleted files will be moved to the recycle bin. They are not been deleted actually permanently, so that if you have deleted some file accidentally, you can recover the files from the recycle bin. Similarly, this is one of the kind of the utility software. So the very special kind of utility software that you see is the text editors, the backup utility of the disk defragmentation, antivirus software, all these are the things. Now what do you mean by disk defragmentation? Now listen to the, or have the look onto the structure. The structure over here, some of the files are arranged in sequential order, some of the files are been scattered, they are not in order. So disk defragmentation makes this file to be arranged in the order. That means this file will be joined over here, this file will be joined over here, all the things will be defragmented. Okay, so disk defragmented files will be fragmented together. Then you have user accounts like security issues, opening a file, username and password, antivirus, protecting you from the hackers or the viruses, all includes spywares, malwares, etc. System updates like antivirus update, updating your Windows, all the things. Okay, system recycling, uninstalling certain things. Okay, you have CC cleaners, all those things. Encryption is protecting the data so that the data is being coded in some other format and the user who is using it has only access to the thing, but whereas the other one will not be having the rights onto the data. That is how, and formatting certain things, erasing or writing the contents on the files or on the disk, all these are the examples of the utility software. So this will help in coordinating operating system, managing the things and things. The very most important part we are into this chapter is about to discuss is the operating system. So the operating system that we are going to discuss, one of the example is been shown to you is the Windows 10 operating system. What is the job of the operating system and what is the work that we have for the operating system? So let us jump into the subtopic and explore what are the things that we are having into the operating system. The typical first slide of this particular operating system includes definition. An operating system is a set of programs. Okay, it's not made up of a single program. An operating system is a collection of thousands of programs. Let us consider it is a collection of 10,000 programs, 10,000 complex programs, or lakhs together programs, smaller set of programs are combined together. So all these programs are acting like an interface. So we can say an operating system is an interface between two persons or two individuals or two items. Over here are the user, the person who uses the computer, and the computer which consists of the hardware and the software. So it is acting like an intermediator or an interface between the user and the computer. The computer wants to perform some job. It requires an user. If user wants to take certain job from the computer, it requires an operating system. If you want to open a file, you should open a file by the help of operating system only. If you want to delete, if you want to create, okay, if you want to do certain jobs, okay, managing certain things, everything will be controlled and coordinated by the operating system itself. So the whole job is being done by the OS only. So as you can see in the image, when you want to open certain file, now when I open a file, like for example an MS Word file where I can type a letter or a text or a certain contents that are written. So this file, when the user wants to open, user will give a command in two ways. First, it will give a command to the application. Then the user is indirectly giving a command to the operating system such like Windows XP, Windows 10, what we have seen in the example. So this operating system will see whether the application is freely accessible or the memory is available into the CPU. It will give a command, then commands are being taken into the RAM. The application will be opened into the hardware. That hardware we will call it as a RAM. So RAM should be free enough to accommodate all the actions that are temporarily performed by the application that I want to open. So in turn, any data will be communicated to the CPU. The CPU in turn will communicate to the permanent storage devices if they want to store it permanently, or CPU will coordinate with the printer so that the data will be stored, or the data will be printed onto the hard copy. If it is want to be stored for the future purpose, it will be stored onto the hard drive, that is your disk drives that we have discussed in the input, output and memory devices. This is how the operating system is going to act like an interface. See, it's an interface between user and the memory, or it is an user interface between the application and the user. Okay, so it is having certain communication levels. So the main system software is the operating system. It's the main, one of the main kind of system software is the operating system. Without operating system, we cannot perform anything. Okay, so it is going to do certain jobs for us. Now the first job that is the operating system is going to perform is the starts of the computer. The computer will start up by the operating system only. The process of starting the computer is called as the booting, B-O-O-T-I-N-G. So booting is the process of starting or loading the operating system into the memory, which involves certain other processes also. And the next job of the operating system is controls its operation. What operation control? It controls almost all the actions that you want to do on the computer system. Let it be opening a file, creating, destroying, managing, okay. Attached devices you want to manage, like keyboard attached you want to manage, the Wi-Fi, you want to manage the Bluetooth, everything it will be connected to the operating system only. So the operating system manages the resources. It can be even hardware resources or the software resources. Now we have spoken in the last diagram about the application, that is MS Word application, how it will be opened, that's the software resource. Now hardware is also been controlled by the operating system. Now, the other job of the operating system is resolving the conflicts, that's the problems or the tie-up that has appeared between the different applications or the process. So it resolves the conflicts, okay, the conflicts that happens between two or more applications, it will be resolving. Like all the applications, for example, two applications are going through Wicked at a time simultaneously. Now there exists a conflict who has to pop up first, who has to get opened first. So this will be solved by the operating system by conflict management, and it tries to optimize the performance of the system by making the resources to be utilized in a best way. Okay, that's the use of the operating system. Now, having a look onto the entire computer thing, what is been going on. We have the application software, just like computer games you have studied, spreadsheet, that is Excel sheet, MS Word, okay, or word processor, database, internet, web browsers like Google Chrome and all that are on the application tier. Then we have system software that includes operating system, utility software, language translator, all those things. And the hardware, which includes CPU, disk drive, mouse, keyboards, pen drives, scanners, etc. So who is nearby to the hardware? The system software, that is nothing but operating system, is the very much nearer to the hardware, that is CPU, disk or mouse or keyboard, whatever it is. So it is going to manage the entire hardware. But if I want to store anything into the hardware from the application software, I require the help of the operating system to do so. Okay, this is how the operating system is going to work. The next point about the operating system is the user communicates with the computer through the operating system only. Okay, whenever user wants to give certain commands or wants to perform certain tasks or the programs, instructions need to be given that are not been given directly to the computer. Instead, we need to give it to the operating system through only. So we call the operating system as a interface or an intermediator between two things. Okay, it can be user and the program or user and the hardware. So operating system plays an important role while loading the program into the memory. Okay, that is from the hard disk to the main memory, that is RAM or cache memory, or to the CPU. Displaying the messages like pop-up messages, the file, if you want to delete the file, are you sure, yes or no, all these display messages, okay, will pop up. File cannot be deleted because it is currently in use. All those messages are being displayed by the operating system only. Translating the program, that is we have studied the language translator, assembler, compiler and interpreter, translating the program from the high level language or assembly level language into the machine level language is been done by the operating system only, and it also takes care of the outputting of the results from the hardware to the monitor or to the printer. So entire process of communicating with the user or managing with the hardware is being performed by the operating system. Okay, the very good examples of the operating systems that we have is Unix, okay, Linux, MS-DOS, Microsoft Windows versions such like Windows 95, Windows 98, Windows 2000, Windows XP, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, okay, Android versions, okay, of the mobile phones are also falling under the, or also falls under the operating system, that is Macintosh, iOS, okay, all are the examples that you can see here. This is MS-DOS, Windows 7, okay, Windows logo in the different thing, okay, Microsoft .NET 98, Microsoft .NET server version 2008, and all these are the examples of the operating system that you can see. So in the next class, we will be moving to the functions of operating system. Thank you.